Who's your prepping nurse? That's me, Sally. Today I am going to be making Johnny Marzetti. It is a pasta casserole dish. It originated in Ohio, I believe Columbus, Ohio, at a restaurant owned by Teresa Marzetti and her family. She created this dish and named it after her brother-in-law, Johnny. Luckily, they were located close to a university, Ohio State University, and that helped with the dish becoming very popular. Interesting enough that the T Marzetti salad dressing is Teresa Marzetti. It came from her family's company and is still really popular today. She passed away in 1972, but the dish is just as popular, if not more, than ever. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started cooking, making our Johnny Marzetti. What the recipe calls for, and I'm going to post the recipe in the comments section, or in the description section rather, is I'm going to post the full recipe, and it is for the meat part of it. Full recipe calls for 1 pound of ground beef and 1/2 pound of Italian sausage. I have actually got bison. I got it on the Fresh Food app back in June, and it said 16 ounces on the package. Since I am doing half the recipe, I was going to measure out 8 ounces on it. The whole package after cooked came to 9 ounces for 9.4 ounces, and I just couldn't believe it. So all of it is getting used. It also calls for the 1/2 pound of Italian sausage, so I want to use a 1/4 pound, and I don't have any actual ground sausage or Italian sausage, but what I did do was off the Fresh app, I got a ton of packages of the bratwurst, and this one happens to be Italian mild, and I canned it in August 22. I've got the date on here, so I am going to split one of those open, and we will see. And there is a little bit of fat on the top of it, and I'm going to zero this out here on my scale because I'm just curious how much one of these weighs. If I can get it. Whoop. You know, I hit a fork out. What did I do with it? Let's get another one over here. See if that will help. They do, or they can come apart, especially that first one can come apart. So this is actually already cooked. Let's see here. Let me hold this up, re-zero this out. That is 3 ounces, and I want 1/2 pound, so that's going to be 8 ounces. That's more than what I thought it was going to be. 6. That's 9. I'll put that one back in there. That's 8.5 ounces, so that is actually I wanted 4 ounces, didn't I? I don't know what I'm doing today. I wanted 4 ounces. That is 5.4, so we're actually going to go with that. So it did say to brown it. So this actually, the casing is actually pretty much dissolved on this. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to turn my skillet back on. I had it turned off. What time I was getting everything together. And I'll get that scrambled up and bring you back. I wanted to bring you back what time I am just topping this all up in here to show you how easy this will break apart. And I think I only paid for the whole package. It had 5 of these sausages in it. I think I paid, it was less than $2 for the whole package off that Flash Food app, and I can leave a link to it down there too. I have seen them list some. I've got a lot of can jars of this, so I don't need to get any more, but I believe that they're like almost $3, $4 now for a package of these on the Flash Food app, which means it's between $6 and $8 for one package. Okay. So I will bring you guys back. Okay, so I have got my meat heated up here. It broke up really pretty good. It'll break up more once I start mixing it in with the stuff for the casserole. So the next thing to do is to put this into a separate dish. Directions say a plate. I'm going to put it into the casserole dish that I'm going to be baking it in. The directions make, the full makes 12 servings. I'm only going to do the half because well, it's just me that's here right now. So let me get this in here and I'll set it over to the side. And let me get it back over here. So I don't know if you guys ever do this, but I love these little hooks. They're actually used to hang up laundry, but you can hang up notes and things. I just click it right onto, or hook it right onto the handle for the cabinet door. And I have hooked it onto this before, but then it kind of gets in the way sometimes. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, it said to leave grease in. I don't actually have any grease left over. Actually, there was no grease to that buffalo meat or to the sausage because, well, you know what I could do? Here, let's do this. I was going to put some margarine in it, but there is a little bit of fat that is right here. So let's put that in. We'll see how that flavors everything. Need a little bit more than that. It had said to leave 2 tablespoons in. So let's get this other piece up here. A little bit right there. And we'll see. If I need to add more, I will add some butter to it. And I thought about bacon grease, but I was afraid it would change the taste of it too much. Now, I've made what we called Johnny Marzetti before in the past. My mom made it quite often. But it was one of those where you just threw things in. There was no actual recipe to it. I looked up the recipe on this, and I'm going to try and actually follow it. So for the half recipe, I'm doing 4 ounces of pieces of mushrooms. I don't have any fresh ones, and this is part of the 2023 Pantry Challenge, where we try and use up things that we have in our pantry that's getting close to expiration, or that we just want to clear out. Maybe it's not a favorite thing of yours, and you just want to help get rid of them. So here is my mushroom. I have got, let's see, onions. It calls for 3/4 cup. So I'm doing just a little over 1/4 of a cup. I love mushrooms, so I would actually probably be happy with the full 3/4 cup. It's really hard to actually stick to the recipe here. I'm going to do about 1.5 cup. It should probably actually, you know what, be 1/3 of a cup. So I could have done that. Let's get these in here to saute. I'm just chopping up these mushrooms a little bit here. I did save the juice that I drained off of the water that I drained off the mushrooms and off the tomatoes that we're going to put in, because I am going to try and make some vegetable soup that I absolutely love. I haven't made it in a long time. Not quite sure why. I do have some packages of frozen vegetables in the freezer that have been in there for quite a while, so they do need to get used up. But I've actually canned it in the past, and I just love the herbs that are in it. So I'll do a video on that too. And it goes quick if you have got frozen or even canned vegetables that you want to do the soup in. Okay, so garlic. I was going to show you guys on this garlic. I actually have a camera so that you can see it here. Maybe I can use my fork for this. Easy way to get the peel off. Cut off your end to it. Smash it. And if you got a broad enough knife, you can do that, and it just comes right off like that. So let me grab, I'm going to reach in front here. Whoops. It smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this. I love the scent of mushrooms and onions cooking together. I'm big on Asian foods, and I use a lot of that in it. So it's got the 4 cloves of garlic. A couple of these are kind of big cloves, but some smells so much better even. And if you're going to get a garlic press, get a good one that's going to last. I've gone through probably like 3 other garlic presses. These I had already got the skins off of. And this one, though, has lasted me, and it does a really good job to it. My back is still bothering me, so if you see me wince, it's the tension I'm putting on my back doing some of this stuff. There's the peel. Goes out into the compost. I try and compost as much as I can. Oops, that one didn't. I'm going to cut off of it. Cut off, yeah. And I like this one. This is a Pampered Chef one. A friend of mine was selling it, and I hosted a party for her through work. And I actually happened to win the prize, which was this, and I didn't have one, so I had to admit, I probably should have given it up, but I needed one, and this is a really super nice one. I highly recommend it. And what's neat is whenever you clean it, it's got this little brush that you use to poke it back through to clean it with. Now it's not going to fit in here easily. See? And then you wash it, and it does a great job. So anyway, getting back to our Johnny Marzetti, it was supposed to be a 1/4 a cup, so I've got an 1/8 of a cup here, and I didn't have any fresh red bell pepper, so I did hydrate some of my dehydrated bell pepper, which I am using everything. I did not go out and buy anything for this. It all came out of my pantry. Get this in here. Oops, sorry. Sorry about the noise. And then Italian seasoning calls for 1 tablespoon. I did get out a tablespoon and I try and use half of it. Okay, my veggies are really softening up, so I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this stuff here. That's about 1/2 tablespoon. And then I'm not going to add any salt to it. That's something somebody can add if they want to. I'm going to add some pepper to it. Not a whole lot, but it is freshly ground pepper. And it would have been, where am I at? Here's the pepper. It would have been 3/4 of a teaspoon of, I'm sorry, pepper is 1/2 teaspoon. Salt would have been 3/4 teaspoon had we been adding it. 1 jar of marinara sauce. And I've already cooked my, oh shoot, a little bit more than what I had planned on. This is for the full recipe. We're going to have a lot of sauce, but I'll have to make some garlic bread to go with this maybe. At least I didn't get the whole bottle in there. What happens with real live TV. Or taped, when you can't go back and retape it. Sugar, it says 1/4 teaspoon. I am going to just do a little bit here over it. It's probably about 1/8 of a teaspoon to it. And the tomatoes, which it called for 1 can, so we're going to do about 1/2 a can here. It's a 14.5 ounce can. Oh, this just smells so good, folks. I wish you could smell it. And you know what? I think that is everything in it. Let me look here real quick. Yep, that is everything in it. So what I'm going to do is bring my pasta back over here. I have got it in the pan I cooked it in. And we are going to pour it. Actually, you know, I'm going to put my meat back in it first. And stir it up. Sorry about my arm in the way. Just put that there. Stir it up, let it heat up. By the time it's heating up, I'm going to go grab my mozzarella cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like. It does not have to be mozzarella, but I have some out open in the refrigerator, and I wanted to use some of it up. And when I buy my mozzarella, I get it in a big bag. I usually get it at Sam's Club or at Costco, and then divide it up and put it in the freezer. Let me grab it. And actually, I got this in 2021. It still looks perfect. So it calls for, let's see how much pasta, or how much mozzarella. It calls for 2 cups mozzarella shredded and 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese. And you know what? I have got cheddar cheese. And it did take up, I made the mistake of letting it thaw out, but it will melt good once we get it in. So let me put this here. Mix it just a little bit more here. This looks pretty warm already. Okay, so it said to pour it over the pasta mixture. All that goodness out of it. Sorry. Since I hurt my back, I went back to using my stainless steel skillets. I usually have cast iron. Let me turn my heat off there. Mix this up. You know, I could just eat it like this. And you could just eat it like this. Yeah, that's pretty well mixed up. And okay, so we're going to put half of it. I'm going to set it right there. Bring my dish back over here. It says to put half of it in. Just almost the right size. If you were going to be making the full dish of this, you would do a 9 by 13 baking dish. A little bit more. I found one patch of pasta that I missed stirring. Not quite sure how I did that, but I did do it. Okay, then it calls for a layer of mozzarella, and I'm just going to sprinkle this to my taste. I didn't measure this out. there. And I am a little skimpy on the cheddar, so I'm going to put this that wasn't really crumbled down in here. Okay, that looks pretty well distributed. Okay, and then you put another layer on. Okay. Mushrooms, gotta get that. Even this out on here. And then, let me put this over here in the skillet. Then we are going to do more of the mozzarella. Oh no, we don't put this on yet. Let's see, spread half the baking dish, top with half the mozzarella and 1/2 cheddar, spread the remaining pasta over the cheese layer, cover with foil, bake 45 minutes, remove from oven, discard, oh, and then top. So we're not going to put the rest of this on yet. So I am going to cover this. I'm not going to use aluminum because this dish did come with a cover to it. So I'm going to put it on a little bit sideways because aluminum does not seal it in. It's going to go in the oven and bake, like I said, for 45 minutes at, I don't think I read that part of it, at 350. So we'll see what's going to happen here. I will bring you guys back whenever it's done. Okay, the Johnny Marzetti has baked for 45 minutes. I'm going to take the lid off of it here. Go get my cheese again. Grab it. And we are going to go to the second page. Okay, so all we do is put the rest of the cheese that we went to on it, put it back in the oven, and let it bake until the cheese is fully melted. I think what I'm going to do is not even turn my oven back on because it is just plain warm enough that it could take care of this. Let me just sprinkle some on. Here's my cheddar. Actually, I think this is it's a cheddar jack cheese. It really kicked this on me. And I love cheese, you guys. It's no secret. Just sprinkle this on here. I think that's enough of the cheddar. And, whoops. I have this open already. And then my mozzarella cheese on here. I might make some garlic bread. I don't know. Since this has got pasta in it. And I know that where I got this recipe from, they said that it was the original, but I don't know that anybody really truly has the original anymore. I'm sure someone does, but there are several different versions out on the internet. Best thing I can tell you to do is to do a search, take a look at the different ones, see which one you like best, or, you know, just do a basic one and then just change it up to match whatever it is that you like on it, because that's what it's all about, is personalizing, not really truly going by a recipe. except this one time, of course. Okay, so I'm going to leave it uncovered. It's going to go back into the oven. We'll just let it melt, and then I will bring you back. Okay, so I got the casserole out of the oven. I want you to take a look at it. Does that not look so good? I'm going to let it cool just a little bit, and then I will dish it up, and we will test it out and see how it does. I'll be right back. Okay, so time to dish it up, and we will see how good this is. Let's see how easy. I think maybe a longer one would have been better. Ooh, still steaming hot, guys. Ah. Oh, and cheesy. Very cheesy. Apparently I put my fork into the dishwasher. Okay, still looks good, even though it's a little deconstructed. It's not going to taste any different, is it, guys? A little bit of that cheese in with it. Let's see here. This is really good. This is really, really good. And it's great. You can take it in for a carry-in at work, to church social, just to any gathering. This would be a hit. So I will catch you guys a little bit later. Enjoy the rest of the day. Try and have the best possible day that you can, and just keep going forward. Take care, everyone.